y'all, welcome to Pearls of Eden. Happy Freedom Friday. Listen, we're going to get into some current news. We're going to talk about the Notradamus of election predictions. He got it wrong, didn't he, you all? But I remember seeing this guy, and when I heard his predictions, he hasn't gotten it wrong since 1982, right? And he was so confident that Kamala Harris would be the next president. You all, I remember watching it and the Lord was just like, turn it off, shut it down. I had to guard, when I tell you, I had to guard what I was believing so strongly, because you had people like this coming out and they were like, this is going to be the first African-American. I'm like, first of all, she's not African-American, but okay. The first Black president and da-da-da-da-da, the one, and and so you can get all of these words in your heart and your mind, and if you're not careful, it can rob you from the promise. And so I want to use this as a teachable lesson. This is not to gloat, and this is not to boast in and the victory that we have. I thank God for that, right? But I want to use this as a lesson that when God gives you a word, no matter what the opposition looks like, the giants can fall. And it's that old classic story of David and Goliath. And I just think that this is what makes the victory so beautiful and so sweet, is that none of this could have happened had it not been for the hand of God on this election. Only God can get the glory. Take a look at this prediction and we'll come back and talk about it.
Do you predict, sir, will win the 2024 presidential election?
Based on my system, the keys to the White House, which has been right since I predicted Ronald Reagan's re-election in April 1982, Kamala Harris will become the first woman president, and she will be the first president of African and East Asian mixed descent.
Based on your model, these are your 13 keys. It's true or false questions that look at the strength and the performance of the party that's in the White House. What leads you to that conclusion, Professor, that it's Kamala Harris who will win?
We don't look at polls. We don't pay attention to pundits who don't have a scientific basis. It takes 6 or more negative keys to count out the White House party, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats. I find definitively they have only lost 4 keys. The mandate key, because they lost U.S. House seats in 2022. The incumbency key, because it's now an open seat. The incumbent charisma, because whatever you may think of Harris, she's not a Franklin Roosevelt, one of those once-in-a-generation, transformational, inspiring candidates. That's 3. 4 is foreign policy failure. Gaza is a humanitarian disaster with no end in sight, and the U.S. is very heavily invested there. So that's only 4 keys down, 2 keys short of a predicted defeat.
What about the fact that your keys and your prediction have come before tonight, the only debate between these two candidates?
I deliberately issued my predictions before the debate to get across to people of the U.S. and the world that it's governance, not campaigning, that counts. Debates do not predict election outcomes. Hillary Clinton won the debates and still lost. John Kerry won the debates in 2004 against a very bad debater, George W. Bush, and still lost. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch the debate and gain insights from the debate. I'm saying we need to break out of this meaningless horse race theory that gives us negative, soundbite-driven campaign.
Yeah, a lot of people just didn't understand that there were so many people that were truly Trump supporters, and how many people were not for this woke agenda, and people couldn't believe it because not everyone was as vocal. But that quiet storm showed up with the Latino vote, also with the Amish, which so many people thought the Amish are not going to get involved in this political climate. They're not going to vote. That's not what they do. Maybe typically that's not what they do. But this election was like none other. This was a whole different ball game, and people, they failed to realize that, how fed up people really were. And thanks to the Amish, Pennsylvania definitely, was handed to Trump And so we've got to give the Amish community a shout out, right? Come on. Thank you so much for your support, for helping us to win the election by a landslide. Also, when you think about, like I said, the Latino vote, a lot of the men and the women came out to support Donald Trump. And here's the news, the latest news with Eric, what's his name, the mayor of New York. He's now taking back all of the vouchers, shutting down that program only one day after the announcement that Trump is back, right? Everybody's getting their act together. Hallelujah. Now, I'm going to show you this next clip, and this is kind of, bittersweet, but as he watches the Notradamus, as he watches everything crumble, and he sees that, oh my gosh, my prediction is absolutely wrong. Yeah, it was a piece of humble pie. Take a look.
Pennsylvania, to be honest with you.
You're nuts, dude. You're nuts.
I know, I can't.
You're nuts.
But not based on the vote, but based on how far ahead she is compared to Biden.
Okay.
Still giving New York Times Trump a slight edge.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I don't see it. Wow. I think she's going to win Pennsylvania, despite what the New York Times is projecting.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
I don't see how she doesn't win Pennsylvania.
I agree.
Because he won Pennsylvania and she's doing better.
Don't get too wrapped up in the New York Times projection. I don't even know if they're mathematically sound. Don't get too wrapped up in them.
I'm worried about everything. I still think she's going to win Pennsylvania, but...
Yeah, me too. What is looking iffy to you right now?
The New York Times is projecting Trump to win all three of the blue all states.
What?
Yep. A lot of processing of mail ballots in Pennsylvania.
Well,
they not counting them until today.
49.3% for Bucks in Harris when it was 51 for Biden. Philadelphia 78 for Harris when it was 81 for Biden.
Not good. Votes that are going to be counted tomorrow.
Dad, there's not going to be that many.
But it's probably not going to be enough. Well, there may be other votes. Remember, overseas votes can come in late.
Doesn't that count as provisional votes? Or no? It has to. That's counted in provisional votes. Yeah.
You know, God, what is our country coming to?
This is the first moment of the night where I've lost hope a little bit.
Good thing I have nothing to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I took off work tomorrow.
And I'm not doing any interviews.
Good.
I'm done with that.
I think she lost. I hate to say that because I've been hopeful all night, but I think she lost.
I do too.
So yeah, that's hard, right? When you see things go the complete opposite direction of what you thought, right? Here you are, you're like, I am the predictor of all the elections. I never get it wrong, right? I've got these 13 keys, but one key you didn't count on was the hand of God, right? He made the impossible happen. Never forget it, you all. God made the impossible happen. It was a red tsunami. It was a red wave that no one predicted or saw coming, huh? But those who were given privy to have sight. Amazing, right? Amazing. So I just wanted to share this because this is the kind of stuff that I was coming up against, you all. And I would have to shut it down. And I want to remind you too, when you get a word from the Lord, it doesn't matter what everybody's saying. It doesn't matter what the polls are saying. It doesn't matter how impossible it may look. If you get a word from God, hold on to it, trust in Him, and know that He is the one who will bring you to the finish line. And He'll get all the glory. All right, guys, that's it for Freedom Friday. I may do like a health vlog tomorrow. I know some of you are like, I want to see some healthy snacks. And y'all, I've been enjoying myself. I've been celebrating. I've been eating all the bad stuff. So I've got to kick it into gear. And I've got to do a juice fast. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so I may show you some different juices that I can make and some healthy snacks that are tasty yet healthy. So we'll see. I've got my Pilates class tomorrow, so we'll see what I can come up with you all for like a health type video. All right, I love you all to life. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a part of this channel, and walk in the light. Bye.